welcome to another, this won't be a vlog or a spend the day. It's more so just like a self-care, a bit of a self-care upkeep day for me. Today I'm also taking down my braids, and I thought while I'm doing that to do a bit of a chit chat about mom burnout and postpartum mental health. I'm gonna start with my eyebrows, and I don't want to take too much off of my eyebrows because I have pretty sparse eyebrows, so I'm just going to start by brushing up. And it really depends on the shape that you're going for, I find, because, or the look, I guess, that you're going for. Some people like the brushed up, some people like the really contoured, heavy brows. I have sparse brows, so I'm not going to take a lot of hair off. It's mostly just trimming, and then the tint kind of fills everything else in. I know that there's like the tattooing and stuff like that that's available. I'm considering it, or like the ombre brows, I'm considering it. I'm just not 100% fully committed to it yet. But it's a possibility in the future, it's a possibility. I'm looking a little bit crazy, but follow, it's a process, it's a process. So I kind of did like a landmark of the spots that I want to follow for when I'm going to do my eyebrow tint, so that I don't go past those areas, and trying to make my brows look as natural as possible. So I'm going to follow those areas and just follow like how my eyebrows naturally grow to give it that natural look, and plus adding the tint to make them look a little bit fuller. So I did my landmarks I just use like what's this, a pomade, so it's gonna come off. And now I'm gonna do my eyebrow tint. This is the Maybelline Tattoo Brow. It's not permanent, so it really is just like a temporary. It lasts for around 3 to 5 days. So, and it's a peel off tint. I'm using this one for now. I'm still in the market looking for a little bit more of a long lasting tint, but I'm gonna use this one for today. Okay, so really simple to use. You're just gonna brush it on really lightly, and then you let it sit for no longer than an hour. I'm going to show you up close. It's almost like putting on nail polish. I use it that much. It's almost done. Okay. So I like to start at the bottom and then move forward because my eyebrows are more sparse here. Okay, that's one side. And for any of the extra, you can take it off with like a baby wipe. So now I'm gonna let that one sit and dry and then do the other side. Okay. Now we just gotta wait. I know it's looking crazy. Now we just gotta wait. This is gonna be like the most satisfying. So eyebrows are done. I'm gonna peel them off. That's the tint. Okay, not bad. Now I'm just gonna go through with a toner. It actually looks really, really good. I'm gonna use a brush. So I'm gonna use, this is a witch hazel and rose water toner, and just tone. And my hyaluronic acid. Okay, so let's get into taking out my braids. It's gonna take a while. So I wanted to talk about mom burnout and postpartum mental health. So I'm a first-time mom, and I have a 2-year-old. So that first year, it probably took me about a year to kind of really navigate how not to be burned out. And I mean, or getting to the point of burnout, because it definitely happens. And I mean, try realistically, try to not let it happen. And it takes a lot. I mean, especially if you have a partner, a support community, it's really important to talk to them and communicate openly about how you feel. It's really important to talk to your partner or your support community about how you feel, about your needs, what you think you need, because sometimes we don't even know, and it takes a lot of trial and error to just figure that part out. And I think that's what I did for the first year, which was just a lot of trial and error of what I needed. And it's definitely a combination of things to start to feel comfortable in motherhood and not feeling burnt out, tired, and exhausted all the time. Does that happen sometimes? Yes, because I think it's a give and take, depending on your lifestyle, depending on your family, that it's not always going to be 100% you're okay. If you have a partner, sometimes it's a lot of push and pull with your partner, depending on their schedule and your schedule. So I found that having like open and honest communication and not being kind of like back and forth about who does what, and having like a non-accusatory conversations, so you're not accusing either one, like either one of you are not accusing the other of not being there, or just, you know, not accusing each other. Don't start the communication that way, or blaming each other. So it's more so saying like what I need, and I think using a lot of I statements instead of you're not doing this, you need to do this, and kind of using that blame language was one of the ways that I communicated that helped to reduce my burnout and get my kind of my point across and communicate, I think, more effectively. So just being as open as you can with your needs. And I know that there were some basics for the first year. The basics that I needed to sleep. I needed to sleep. So if it was a regular sleep time when you go to bed at night, but it might have been getting up and napping, and that's just something that I needed, because if I didn't get my sleep, I knew I would be so irritated and I would get set off so quickly without getting enough sleep. So that was like a non-negotiable. It took probably a year, but sometimes you have to sleep on that side of the bed. So mom's side of the bed gets all the constant waking up. So sometimes you just gotta switch. And I know that there are some partners who just get it. They just get it, or some vice versa. Some moms or dads, partners who just get it, and there's some that don't, that need help along the way, and that's where the communication comes in, of talking about this, talking before and knowing the signs that are leading up to getting burnt out, feeling exhausted, feeling irritated, feeling tired, or even to the point of almost getting sick, right? When you're going for so long and you're not taking care of yourself, you can start to get sick. So really knowing those signs and being able to help each other out, like truly help each other out when that other person is getting to that point of burnout. Getting sleep was one major thing for me, making sure that I'm able to like move my body on a regular basis. It's going for a walk, walking around the house, and getting outside was huge. Sometimes you need a bit of a push to get outside on a regular basis, because it does make you feel a lot better, and I think it helps with burnout, just getting out and moving your body some way. If it's swimming, going for a hike, going for a walk to the mailbox, going to see a friend, going to walk around the library, walking around your grocery store, just getting out and going for a walk is just like the first thing. And sometimes not everybody responds to getting out and going for a walk. Sometimes you might have to go and take a class, take a spin class, take a yoga class, go do some swimming, rock climbing. Go outside, get outside of your house, because it's like when you're inside your house all the time, it's like you're in that mental environment where you see the same thing over and over again. You're with your children all the time, over and over again, constantly. So sometimes you just need to remove even just your mind from that environment. This is going to take longer than I thought, so let's speed it up. I have to get some scissors. Okay, my camera died, so I had to charge it, but I've made quite a bit of progress with taking out my hair. But I wanted to continue our conversation on talking about burnout and postpartum mental health. I was just thinking about this, that to be really realistic with your to-do list, or what you're getting done for today. And speaking from my personal experience, being a first-time mom, I thought I could do everything. I thought I was going to be able to be like the perfect wife and the perfect mom and be 100% in all of those positions in my life, and I wasn't able to do that. And that's partly what led to burnout, was me wanting to be the best and the perfection associated with being, you know, a good partner and being a great wife, and trying to fit in self-care and trying to fit in family and friends. And I just wasn't setting firm enough boundaries of what I can do and what I can't do, and that I can't check off, you know, 100 items on a to-do list in one day. And the best kind of advice, or I guess maybe motto or something that I've heard is in motherhood, like your role, your job is to, you know, the best thing that you can do is take care of your child. And that's the biggest thing on your to-do list, is taking care of your child and taking care of yourself, are the two things that you focus on. I think that's specifically geared towards if you're a stay-at-home mom, or even a work from home mom, and you're trying again to like balance work and balance being a mom and all your other hats that you wear. So it really was just recognizing that I can't be 100% in all of those roles, because I wasn't capable. It wasn't realistic. I shouldn't use the word capable. It wasn't realistic for me, and it was just leading to burnout. It was leading to resentment, because I couldn't even let go of the control of wanting to do all of those things, and then still being upset if when someone offered help, I would still say no, like I can do it, because I thought that I should be able to do it. I should be able to do all of these things. So it was a lot of rewiring for me of the expectations of motherhood, and thinking that we can do it all. But truthfully, if you're trying to do it all, you will constantly go down that path of burnout. You will constantly go down that path in postpartum of questioning your worthiness, questioning if you can do it all, if you're a good mom, that you should be able to do it all. And truthfully, you being a good mom is you just getting up and doing your best every single day and taking care of yourself, taking care of your child. And that took, it seems so simple and it sounds so simple, but it took a year for me to like really understand that perspective, and really understand that I need to ask for help, really have a strong community and strong communication with my partner on, you know, my kind of warning signs of like, you know, I'm running on E here, to the point where, you know, your partner already recognizes that, and you don't need to tell them. They don't need to see that, you know, you're extremely tired at the end of the day. They just, you know, they just do it. As Nike says, they just do what they need to do to help. And it's vice versa. You would do what you need to do to help as well. So it's not a competitive thing in your household. It's not, well, I did all of this, what did you do? You have to let go a lot of that competitiveness and kind of trying to compare who's like the better parent and stuff like that. It's just going to lead you to burnout. It's not very conducive, and it's not very productive allocation of like energy and time or resource, and not good for you mentally. So that's what I was thinking about as my camera was charging and making some progress with taking out my hair. And that's kind of just like my thoughts on preventing burnout, postpartum. Part of, you know, like your postpartum mental health, is one aspect of it is the taking care of the child, being the primary caregiver, and knowing when to let go of control knowing when you need to have tough conversations, how to have those tough conversations with your partner or support system, or going out and finding that support system, I think makes a huge difference on how you move through motherhood, how it can just be a little bit, that transition stage can be a little bit easier. And then you eventually get to the point where you find your rhythm, even though it feels like it's chaotic and it's always chaos. You realize that you get through every single day, and you can get through every day easier. Some days a little bit hard, but you get through the chaos of it, and you move through every single day, you move through every single week and month, and I tell you, the time goes by and it is chaotic. It can be, but we move through it, and we always kind of question, you know, this is so hard, I can't do it, and we get through the day, and then we get through the next. And sometimes that might just be all that we need, is just taking it one day at a time and getting through those days. But the key takeaway is not trying to struggle and do everything yourself and hold the resentment and constantly burn yourself out. The key is getting through every day with ease, getting through every day with communicating with your partner, communicating with people that can help you, so that it's not, every single day isn't, you know, you're living on the struggle bus. There will be days where, like, yeah, your child is sick and you have to stay up late, wake up early, or just sit there on the couch and drink orange juice with them. You might have to do that, but those are the exception days. Those aren't the every single days. And the newborn stage, I've heard this before, the newborn stage is not the stage to be grading a lot of your relationships, because it is tough on both parties when there's no communication or everyone's new to this. It takes a while to get through that stage. A lot of really strong communication, a lot of strong feelings can come through that during those times. But it's really communication. Communication is key to help each other get through that stage. Ooh, got some nuts there. So I'm gonna keep some progress here. A little bit left. So I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, the last braid, and my kind of final point for this video is taking time to yourself to reduce burnout, so you don't even get to that point of burnout. If you want to call this a part of your self-care, you can call it a part of self-care, but I think it's important to have time alone where you're not on mom duty, you're not on partner duty, you just have time for yourself, and you're not worried, you're not stressed, no one's calling out for you. You will get a call if there is an issue. If not, you know, it's just time for yourself, time to be in your thoughts. And I think it's non-negotiable, because if you wait to have that time for yourself to figure out kind of who you are after you've become a mom, you'll start to become lost in motherhood, just taking that time. And again, the burnout slowly creeps up if you're not taking time for yourself to rest, to reset, to relax. So time for yourself, you can do all of those things. You can accomplish all of those things when you just make some time for yourself. And it should be, I think, non-negotiable. If it's weekly, small pockets. If it's every day, small pockets where you have some time for yourself. If it's quarterly, taking a trip, having and making time for yourself is very, very important, especially if you are the primary caregiver, if you're a stay-at-home mom, work from home mom, if you're with your child most of the time, you need a break from being with your child all the time, or being in that state of just like mom duty all the time. Again, it's so that you don't get to this chronic state of burnout, and it's good for your mental, for rest, relaxation. It's good for you to help you identify who you are outside of just being a mom, because that's a whole other conversation of losing your identity and motherhood. So that's my chit chat for this video while I was taking down my hair. I cover actually a lot of these topics on my podcast called the Sister Sista podcast. The details and the link will be in the description below. So that's that. And now I am going to wash and condition my hair. And the products that I'm using today will be the Carol's Daughter. This is the Coco Creme, first time that I'm using it. So it's for very dry, curly to coily hair. I have 4C hair, so I'm excited to try these products out because I'll be wearing my hair natural for maybe a couple of weeks, and then either back in braids, or I might put in a sew-in. We'll see, I don't really know yet. But yeah, so I'm gonna try these products out, and then that will be the end of my kind of hair maintenance, skincare maintenance day, and just having a bit of time for myself over this weekend, which has been really nice.